Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious. Now, I know some of you are probably asking me why I got this fabulous little piece of headgear right here. Well, price I pay doing what I do for it. You see, as I say all the time at the end of the show, I am the advocate for the Raw General Manager, this Bronx bitch forever on Twitter, and as such, it is my job to go and make sure I go to acquire the best talent possible whenever I can. Now, I went to go and attend a business meeting, or so I thought it was, unfortunately, when I was viciously assaulted by somebody with a pipe. Unfortunately, I didn't see the perpetrators. However, I did hear the voice of one Nick Meltzer McGee at PW Smart Talk simply say, "That's how you handle what's best for business." Nick, I want you to look into these eyes right here, son. And I want you to look real good. These ain't the eyes of a father. These ain't the eyes of a wrestler. These are the eyes of a man that is just straight up pissed. I'm going to get you. I'm going to show you what it means to do what's best for business. Because I will not stop until you are nothing more but a greasy smear on my fist. You want to go and attack a defenseless father. Trust me, you ain't going to get the end of this. You ain't going to see the end of this, not by a long shot. In immortal words of Roddy Piper himself, you do not throw rocks at a man with a machine gun. And trust me, I have an entire fucking arsenal at my disposal. And I will unleash hell on you and your client. You want to do what's best for business? Fine. You want to go to war? Oh, trust me. You do not want to do that with me. I hate to break it to you, but I grew up in South Philly. I got hit harder in the head by women with a wiffle ball bat, for crying out loud. I left fucking AMA at that hospital just cause I couldn't stand them fucking doctors. My head's still splitting, you know? But trust me, you ain't gonna stop me. Not by a long shot. Now, back to the matter at hand, talking about what Raw. Raw, it was in Chicago. Probably one of my favorite places. It was right up until Phil Brooks decided to up and quit because he couldn't get his own way. And now that's pretty much the mecca for CM Punk chants, which freaking hating. Sorry, like I said, head is splitting, which case, again, thank you, Nick. They started out with Steph and Tripp coming out, talking about on how this town really likes to get behind a quitter, which, yeah, that really does seem to be the case because, you know, again, CM Punk chants were going on through the show, and yeah. Thankfully, though, they were able to use that. They used that and trolled the crowd. Wound up bringing up on how Ambrose is a quitter because he just, you know, decided to go and take the case and run instead of dealing with matters. And then Tripp was saying that the case is a symbol of the company and all that. And then Heyman came out, which, God bless, thank you, Paulie. And we'll say this for the Chicago crowd. They did do they did do right by cheering Paul, and I even seen a couple people doing, in which case I would have been one of them, because I'm willing to admit I bow down to the Church of Paul Heyman, because that man wound up helping spearhead my childhood with what he made in ECW. Anyways, Paul came out saying on how he felt bad over the fact of his client Brock Lesnar was disrespected by Cena, by Rollins interfering in his match with Cena, and then Rollins doing a curb stomp on Brock and trying to cash in. And then Rollins came out saying, Paul, they had nothing to do with it. It was all me. It was my own. I acted on my own. I'm sorry. I figured you would appreciate, a guy trying to do his own. And Paul just looks like, alright, I understand. But know this. If you do that again, you won't have to answer to me. You're going to have to answer to my client, Brock Lesnar. In which case, also, Nick, you're not going to have to answer to Brock. You're not going to have to answer to any kind of courts. You're not going to have to answer to anyone. Because you're going to answer to me. Just trust me, I may be retired, but that still don't mean I can't pull out a move. Don't mean I still can't pull out a move or two. And when I get you, you're done. Now, on with the show, Cena wound up showing that they wound up having Ambrose get on the Tron saying, hey, I'm here. You want me? Come get me. And they went to go out and go to the back to get him. Next thing you know, Cena came out, started trying to chase after Rollins. Rollins went through the ring, around the crowd, and back up to the entranceway. And now on with the show, actually. Matches. Sorry if I seem a little disoriented. Head's still a little fucked, but ain't nothing stopping me. First match of the night, triple threat Intercontinental title match. Ziggler, Cesaro, and Miz. Like I said, normally I will shoot on talk down on triple threat matches because you tend to have a guy that always feels like he's just a third wheel and doesn't belong, and this one, it didn't really feel that way because they all kind of went together. Miz and Cesaro, they started double teaming at first, and then it was everyone for themselves, and Ziggler wound up he was doing a lot of double team moves against Miz with Cesaro. I mean, he had a neck breaker into an DDT, which, was good. He also wound up using Miz the catapult, using Cesaro the catapult into Miz, doing a headbutt right into their junk. And best part of that match was hands down Ziggler doing the figure four, because I think that was because like I always say, when Ziggler's going against the Miz, it's his job to protect the kittens, because every time Miz does the figure four, God kills a kitten. When Ziggler went to do that, I'm pretty sure 5,000 kittens were born. Just in regards to that alone. So, thank you, Ziggler, for saving the kittens. But yeah, that was the high spot on that match. My book, Ziggler doing the figure four. Anyways, Ziggler wound up getting the win at the end. Cesaro wound up hitting the move on the Miz. Ziggler tossed Cesaro out the way and then got the pin. And yeah, it was great. I absolutely love the fact that Mizdow was nursing his knee like Miz was because of the figure four. And yeah, it's things like that. It makes the show good. Next matchup, if you can even call it that, folks, there was one of 3 ST Divas matches. Now, I want to make this clear right now. As the advocate, one of my duties to help assist the general manager is helping in preparation for some of the bookings. Doesn't necessarily mean we handle all of the bookings, but I handle roughly about maybe 80 to 90%. I don't get 100% say because everything still has to get cleared with Vince at the end. And unfortunately, Vince did not approve of what I had originally planned for a booking that night, and I believe I wound up hearing something about Nick and his little crony Joshua Smith running that show. So if you want to blame anyone for the 3 ST Divas matches that occurred that night, by all means, please blame them. Not me, not my client, blame them. Because they are the ones that took me out, so I couldn't prevent this atrocity from happening. But on with the show. The match just straight out sucked. You know, it was actually a shame because Layla was really carrying it, and considering it's Layla, well, yeah. But, yeah, the big story that they were doing for that match was just to hype up on how Kid's being a dick, fact, and, you know, he just had his headphones on the whole time, fact, and he was just doing, like, playing the games, fact. And they were doing that just to hype up the frickin' Total Divas show, which I can't figure out why they're doing that. The show is complete bullshit, fact. And although I do like the fact that they got Kid acting the same way as he is in NXT, fact. And anyways, Layla wound up hitting, they call it the layout. The way she did that neck breaker, it just looked like Rick Rude when he would do the Rude Awakening. Just a slow turnaround, and then not just fall down, but go and land on your ass, because when you do that, the impact actually makes your neck jump and hit your shoulder like that. So that's where the real impact on that move is. That's why that move's a good effect. Is good and effective. Anyways, Layla got the 1, 2, 3 from that, and yeah. Ugh. Next matchup, it was Mark Henry versus Bo Dallas, and like I said, heaven help me, I've become a believer. Yeah. Because of the simple fact of Bo's character and gimmick is so ungodly cheesy, you just love to hate it. That's why I love him. I love the fact that I can't stand the gimmick and stand the character, you know? And it's just great all around with that. The match itself, it was really shouldn't have been necessary. It could have just been made into a segment instead, because they were still hyping up on how Henry lost to Rusev, and then Bo, he came down saying, you need to stop the International Hall of Pain and join the Hall of Believers. And then, yeah, it's just as Henry was about to go and do a Vader bomb on him, Bo got out the way, grabbed his head, did an acid drop, and then got the 1, 2, 3. And unfortunately, Sydney, no hip, no belly, because he didn't do a victory lap. I know, I'm disappointed as well. Again, blame Nick Meltzer McGee and Joshua Smith on that, because if I was handling the booking on that, I would have had Bo do a victory lap, but no! Somebody wound up preventing me from being able to help handle that show. But anyways, Bo wound up getting that win. He was in the back getting interviewed, and then next thing you know, Henry just tossed him around like a sack of potatoes. And yeah, Irish guy, potatoes. Work with the analogies, people. Deal with it. And then just threw a card at him like 2 or 3 times and grabbed him and was like, now that's what I do! In which case, never get into a battle of catchphrases with Mark Henry. Although, now that I think about it, I would like to see Mojo Rawley get into a battle of catchphrases with Mark Henry, because then that would mean the possible end of Mojo Rawley. Fantasy booking, people. Anyways, the next ST Divas match of the night, which again blame Nick Meltzer McGee and Joshua Smith on. Brie. Yeah, now you can really tell my head's screwed up because I actually remembered her name. The Bella who didn't get the boob job, Brie, versus Ava's got herpes and the slutty schoolgirl Cameron. Yeah, the less said about this match, the better. Brie won. We'll leave it at that. Next matchup, Slater Gators versus Los Matadors, and oh my god, I fucking love this match. It was so hilarious. It was so funny, because Slater Gator came out, and then they had a little gator, and you had Adam Rose with the bunny on his lap, and you had Los Matadors with the bull. It's fucking Chikara. It was Chikara Pro on Raw. Oh my god, I was so happy. The only way it could have been better is if they wound up getting little ladders and tiny tables again, like they did in the WLC match. It was so hilarious. Oh my god. I couldn't. Like I said, it's like Chikara was on Monday Night Raw. The only thing that was missing was we need Mr. Kitty Whiskers and Rockstar Spud on there. And yeah, Rockstar Spud was at King of Trios in Chikara, so that's why I mentioned him, and so was Mr. Kitty Whiskers. And I really hope we can get Mr. Kitty Whiskers and Rockstar Spud in that kind of a segment again sometime. As far as with the winners, I really don't know, because I was just too busy laughing to the point of tears like I am now watching it. And now for another letdown, because it was an ST Divas match. AJ versus Alicia Fox. Which case, best part of that, you had the one chick who can actually pull off crazy in there. Because you got AJ, who can have you think, damn, is that chick crazy? And then you got Paige, ringside, who you just looked like, nah, dude, she's pretending to be crazy. And then you got Alicia Fox, who, for all intents and purposes, you know, she's about as nutty as squirrel shit. And trust me, I've dated plenty of crazy women. You look over my track record, and you know, you look over my track record, it would look like something out of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You know? And yeah. So Alicia Fox was the only one that actually that could actually pull off crazy and make it look good. In which case, Alicia Fox is now officially crazy enough to be considered either a current girlfriend of mine or ex-girlfriend. So, absolutely love that. But yeah, the match itself was, and of course, big letdown, of course, seeing as on how AJ Lee was there, they're gonna wind up chanting for CM Punk. Stop the fucking Punk chants, for crying out loud. He quit, he walked out, not on the company, not on the boys, but on the fans. You guys want to keep on cheering for somebody that just said, that's just straight up, I didn't like on how I got treated, so I'm gonna go home. And then go and try and file a lawsuit after your contract expires because you didn't get any royalties from the time you walked out until then. You walked out on your contract. That's the equivalent of fucking quitting. No, you do not get to collect your royalties. You fucking crybaby. You want a paycheck? Easy enough. Go to a McDonald's and start working there. Otherwise, quit your bitching, put on a pair of spandex, get in that ring, kick ass, and get your ass kicked. That's the price you pay on being a wrestler, Phil. Not going to say you're best in the world, and then the second you start getting treated like a jobber to the stars, you turn tail, grab your ball, and go home. Anyways, Alicia won that match. Probably the biggest letdown on that was Alicia went under the ring, grabbed some sodas. I was expecting her to do an Alicia Fox I was expecting her to do like the Steve Weisers, crack them open, and then spray them everywhere. Unfortunately, she didn't. All she did was shake the sodas up and then toss them at AJ after she knocked her down. Although, personally, I would have liked to have seen Alicia go straight up crazy, give Paige an atomic wedgie, and then just grab AJ by her hair and then drag her to the back. But enough on how I would book a Triple X related wrestling event. Like I said, Vince doesn't always approve of some of the booking ideas. But moving on. Sheamus versus Mizdow, and I gotta say, I was pretty impressed because, like I said, Sandow, for all intents and purposes, he out-Mizes The Miz. And that was really good. I like it. I like the fact that Sandow can do a better Miz than The Miz. You know? And Sheamus, he, of course, got the win. He has a brace on him. I noticed that. He's got a brace on his thumb. I think he may have like the same kind of issue Bray had, and that's why he has that glove on now. But, yeah. Next match, it was the main event of the night. Dean Ambrose and John Cena versus Randy Orton and Kane. In which case, yes, the main event was a tag team match. Players, holla holla. Okay, that was my Teddy Long impersonation. It's been a while since I did a good wrestling impersonation. I'll do like Vince or Tripp or Dusty even. But yeah, been a while since I've done one. Work with me. It wasn't my best. Like I said, my head's a little fucked up. In which case, again, thank Nick. Thank you a bunch, Nick. Anyways, the match itself, it was your atypical TV main event spot, you know. Babyface A was held in the ring for 99.9% of the match. He was getting his ass kicked by heels. He wound up getting one quick move in, crawled his way over to his side of the ring, did a hot tag to Babyface B, and then he went to town on everyone. Thankfully, though, Babyface B was Dean Ambrose, so it actually made that match good. Well, actually, what also made that match good was the fact of seeing John Cena getting his ass kicked, because really, John Cena with the red and yellow shirt with the looking like a human Happy Meal logo. You know, instead of having that giant creepy Happy Meal box on TV, they should just have John Cena wearing that red and yellow shirt with the face of him doing this. And just have his music playing in the tune of nom 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 like that, because that's all I really see when I see that. And anytime I see him wearing those Keep Calm shirts, all I keep on thinking is keep calm and Cena sucks. In which case, Top Rope Tuesdays, Turnbuckle Tees. If nobody's made that yet, please make that. But yeah. Ambrose, he went to town. He did an over-the-top crossbody onto Kane, got back in the ring, suicide dive onto Randy, got Randy back in, started going to town on him, did the Nigel McGuinness clothesline, then got him up, headlock driver, was about to get the 1, 2, 3, and just as he was about to get the 3, Rollins came in, started trashing him, and then next, you know, Rollins, Kane, and Randy, they started beating them all up. Even Cena, tossed Cena out the ring. Rollins got the Money in the Bank briefcase. Bleh. Yeah, Money in the Bank. Yeah, my speech is a little slurred because of the fact, again, head's fucked up. And he got the Money in the Bank briefcase lying down. Did a curb stomp on the Ambrose onto the briefcase. Next thing you know, did the same thing with Cena. Best part on that match was on that beatdown was right at the end. The crowd was chanting, "Thank you, Rollins." Which case, it's pretty much safe to say, if you're in Chicago, if you're doing a show in Chicago and you're having Cena get his ass whooped, guaranteed that person's going over and is going to be a babyface that night. But yeah, that was the show. So that was the end of that show. Alright, so and that's all the time for this show. So, like all normal folks, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch all the other episodes. Look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Make sure y'all look for my backup account, Tim_Vicious. I get put in Twitter jail every now and again. Also, make sure y'all look for all these cool ass cats right here on Twitter. Vicky Earls, I Am Danny, Sunday Mucky Moss, Axel Mulligan, Sunday Segway, Sinfully Sabrina, Cranky Grandpa, Legion Lady Aaron, Alva Ben, Just a Stupid Mark, my client, Bronx Bitch Forever. Also, make sure y'all check out Vicky Earls' YouTube page. Make sure y'all check out Axel Mulligan's show, Axel's Analysis. It's a lot like this, but he's talking about NXT, so you know, the only problems I think he's going to really have to talk about is bullshit, Mojo fucking Rawley, and CJ Parker. Other than that, I really can't see much else to complain on. Also, make sure y'all check out Ali Ben and Mask Marks, TNA Turnaround. Alright, and like I was saying earlier, Nick Meltzer McGee, PW Smart Talk, Joshua Smith, you guys think you can handle what's best for business? Like I said, I got hit harder in the head by women with wiffle ball bats in South Philly. All that did was just knock me down. You didn't. You want to finish the job? Come and get me, boys. And like I always tell all of y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck yous.